Happy Tuesday, everybody. Marlene, aka Snow Gardener 307. We are here for another vlog today, and I am out and about, and I was running some errands, and I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and drive around and chit chat with you guys about what today is going to hold, what this week is going to look like. So if you guys are not familiar, I retired from the sheriff's office early last April. I did that because it was not a good place to be, and I had set myself up with savings along with my business so that I knew that I'd be okay to get myself out of that situation. So here we are, we're February, so we're 10 months into my early retirement. I am not getting a pension or anything yet because I'm too young, so I guess that's a good problem to have. I will start drawing my sheriff's office pension at 60. If I had done a full 20 years with my agency, I would be drawing my pension right now, but I didn't actually start in law enforcement until I was 36, so I was a little bit later on starting that. And so today I started compiling some info for our taxes. I've already obviously kept track of all of my receipts, my expenses, my income every single month. I have a spreadsheet that I do every single month for all of my income and my expenses. This is the way that I know for my taxes what I'm going to pay for my taxes. And also I have stats on Etsy and my website that I track to pay commissions to my sister-in-law. So I've already went to the accountant and got my sister-in-law her 1099 so she could file her taxes. I also already filed the taxes for my husband's business that is no longer operating. We had a substantial loss this year due to lawsuits and stuff like that. And we do still have one more active lawsuit. So we have attorney fees, we have settlements, we have all of this. It was just not a good experience. There were some issues with the business partner and some ethical things that happened, and so it's unfortunate. But we have a big loss from the business this year, and I'm not actually sure. I need to talk to my accountant about how that will work out because we still have another lawsuit, so we're still paying an attorney and all of that this year as well. So I'm going to gather all of that stuff, and every single month, like I was saying, I build a spreadsheet and put all of my income and expenses in there so that I can save an appropriate amount for taxes. I also pay quarterly taxes, but I'm hoping that we don't owe anything. And the way that it worked last year was we didn't owe anything. We actually had some overage, so it's going towards this year's taxes. So I don't believe that we can get a refund from my understanding, but paying for my accountant is worth every penny. My husband also works in other states through his current position. So I believe we have 5 state tax returns that need to be filed. And I have decided one thing that I don't ever want to do is file taxes for people. The tax law is so crazy. So I'm going to continue working on that. I'm also working on finishing up a concept and a design that I came up with it was probably close to a year ago. And I've even mentioned it to my YouTube members, but I just never followed through with it. Well, now is the time for follow through. It is so easy to take the time to think of something. Sorry, you guys. It is so easy to come up with the concepts for me, but follow through is where it's at. How many of you guys come up with things that you want to do, whether it's for a business, whether it's for your home, whether it's for your children, but following through sometimes falls through the cracks? Well, that is me, and this last year I think that's been one of my biggest struggles. So today I'm going to continue working on inputting some of the tax info, try to get that ready to go. And I'm also going to get my product that I wanted to get out at least 6 months ago ready to go and get it ordered. And of course, that is one of the things that is not a product that I will be producing myself. So I am going to have the expense for that. And so I've got to have that budgeted in. And of course, make sure I get that paid for and get it all ordered. All right, you guys, I am home at my house, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye for now. I will touch base with you guys maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I imagine this vlog will be 2 or 3 days long, so I'll be back. All right, everybody, we are in the kitchen. It is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to do breakfast for lunch. So we're going to do an egg scramble and some pancakes. But one of the things that I needed to get done today was to make some new brown sugar. So I thought I'd bring you guys along and chit chat with you when I make the brown sugar. So let me get you guys set up there. So you might not be able to see my head, but you can hear my voice, right? So I have got 4 cups of sugar. That's right, you guys, 4 cups of sugar. Then all you need to make brown sugar is molasses. I have already washed my hands, but I am gonna take my rings off and my watch off because this can get a little bit messy. Now, depending on whose recipe you follow and stuff will depend on, not even recipe, but just measurements will depend on how much molasses you want to put in. They say a light molasses is a tablespoon, or I'm sorry, they say a light brown sugar is a tablespoon of molasses to 1 cup of sugar. I like to go a little bit more. I don't want to do dark brown. I don't want super dark, but I do like it a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and add 6 tablespoons of molasses. And molasses is one of those things that just fresh like this, I swear, once you go to making your own brown sugar, I swear you guys, you won't ever go back. You really will never go back. And so I used the last of my brown sugar making a pumpkin bread. And of course, with molasses, it is super sticky. So you want to make sure that you don't leave any molasses on the lip or down the side of your container. And I don't know if you guys saw, but that was a measuring cup that has the plunger on it. That makes it so easy to do things like this. I do have a spoon in there, but you guys, the best way to do it is to use your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a spoon. And if you wanted to, you could probably just do it with a spoon. But I truly find that working it in with my fingers is the best. I am going to go ahead and start it off with the spoon just to make it so it doesn't attach to my fingers as bad. And we are going to have beautiful brown sugar to add into all of our baked goods. And the nice thing with this is I know exactly what's in my sugar, right? My brown sugar. And yes, store-bought brown sugar is easier, but the flavor of this for me is just so much better. So let's go ahead and get most of this molasses off of the spoon now. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my fingers like I told you guys I would. And I just go through and I just kind of pinch it together. And then we're just going to work this molasses in. This is not a fast job by any means. Oftentimes, Mr. Snow Gardener makes this for me, but he is busy doing other things. He is going to come help me cook our lunch. He is the cast iron pro. So we're going to make the eggs in the cast iron. We have got some hot sausage and we've got a pound of it, but we don't need that much for eggs. So we're going to go ahead and brown it all up and then set aside about a half a pound. I am not sure what else we're going to be making with that sausage, but I will come up with something. Whether it is another breakfast dish or maybe a pizza, even though we just did pizza already. We did that sourdough pizza with the sourdough discard, I can't even talk, and it was absolutely delicious. So you can see that my sugar is turning brown, and it is fairly light, but what I want to show you guys is, let me show you a little bit closer. Can you see that there is still lots of clumps? I don't have the light on above you guys, I realized. It probably would look a lot better if I did. Wow, let there be light. So now it really is just mixing it together. You could probably put this in a mixing bowl and put it in your KitchenAid or something, but for me, I don't mind doing this. And what I'm doing is I'm taking those little clumps of molasses and I'm just pinching them into the sugar. If you make your own brown sugar and you do it a different way, let me know. This is the way that I've done it since we started making brown sugar, and I like the feel of it. I don't know, it's a texture thing, right? And it's so soft and smooth, and I know how yummy this brown sugar is going to be. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then Mr. Snow Gardener and I are going to make our lunch. Maybe I'll bring you guys along. I don't think it's anything too exciting. You guys have seen us make pancakes before. I do have a large batch of sourdough right there in that bowl. because I have used up all of my discard. And I do like having a jar of discard in the fridge so that I can easily whip together a batch of pancakes or a quick bread or something fun like that. And of course, we need to do some sourdough while Mr. Snow Gardener is on days off. Maybe I should try to start some sourdough tomorrow. My last loaf of sourdough turned out absolutely amazing. I was telling my hubby that I wanted to make some chili while he was here, but I normally make the corn casserole. So, ooh, we could make a potato soup and have a loaf of sourdough to go with it. That sounds yummy, huh? I don't know if I've got enough milk though. With Mr. Snow Gardener home, he drinks all my milk. So we do have powdered milk. We do have shelf-stable milk that probably would go great for a soup. I am not a huge fan of powdered milk. My husband grew up on powdered milk, but for me, not a huge fan. But if it's in something, especially a soup, you're not going to notice. I've got some cream cheese. We've got cheddar cheese. We don't have any green onions, and that's a common thing. But for groceries this last week, I only spent 16 something, so I could go get some green onions and still be in my budget of $20. I have not went grocery shopping this week yet. It is Tuesday, as I told you guys earlier in this video. And of course, with my grandbaby being born, all of my videos kind of got messed up, including these. And my grocery hauls kind of got messed up, but I was kind of stressing out about them. And then I thought, you know what? Life is too short. Just enjoy the time. All right, you guys, so brown sugar is pretty much done. Look at how beautiful that is. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, you guys, I'll see you a little bit later. Hello, everybody. It is a new day today, and my top priorities this morning were to go ahead and do my monthly budget, go get some cash so I could film a video. I also needed to hodgepodge a video together for my Snow Gardener 307 channel. For the past 2 weeks, I filmed grocery hauls, but I never edited them and put them together. We also ate out quite a bit, so there wasn't as much footage. And one thing that has been driving me absolutely crazy, you guys already know about the plant saga if you've been watching my channel. And so we have one more plant that we need to get out of the pot. And let me show you guys what it is. So it's this plant right here. And of course, you can see I've got these lovely bug traps in here. Nowhere near the bugs in this plant compared to the one that was in the bathroom. But I don't want to put anything in soil until everything is out of the dirt. So we have got to get this dirt out of the house and get this plant put into some water. So I am a little bit scared about killing this plant. I nursed this plant back to health for my daughter. When we first went to my stepdad's house, this plant was pretty much dead, and I was just going to throw it away. And Julia said, Mom, I've always wanted one of those plants. So here we are, and I have nursed it back to health, but it's got a really weird root system going on. And what I mean by that is look at where the plant is growing out of. So all of this is above ground, and I don't know if it's supposed to stay above ground. So that's what makes me nervous. And we also need to get that plant in the bathroom into dirt. It has been in water long enough that I've changed the water out. It was just gross. So, of course, it's cold and yucky outside. It's not snowing or anything, but it is cold and yucky. So I'm doing this in my kitchen and trying to not make as big of a mess as I did in my bathroom. So I'm just using a spoon, you guys. Dirt's not going to hurt your spoon, right? And so I'm going to see how big the system is on this plant, the root system that is, and see if I can get it dug up and put into a bowl. That's what we're going to do at least for a couple days until hopefully all of those stupid gnats, those stupid bugs are gone. This has been driving me crazy. Just like the Christmas decor in my house. I'm over it now, and I worked on it some yesterday, but not as much. Mr. Snow Gardener still isn't working this week. It's a good thing because the recovery from his tattoo on his knee has been pretty rough for him. But the bad thing about when Mr. Snow Gardener is home is that I don't get nearly enough stuff done because I want to spend time with him. And of course, we're going to be headed to see the grandbaby soon. So this is what it looks like. Okay, not as big as I thought, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these roots might be dead, honestly. When I kind of look at them, they don't look like they're alive. Like this clump here is obviously dead, and obviously not from me, but from neglect, I'm sure. Since I'm at the kitchen sink, I'm going to go ahead and wash as much of this dirt off as I can. I'm not going to use super cold water, but not hot water either, right? Your plants can go into shock from temperature, just like you would if I put you in a freezing cold ice bath of water, right? So I don't want all of this going down my drain. But you can see there's a lot of roots that I don't know if they were in fact dead or not, but they came off like super, super easy. So I'm hoping that there is enough roots left on this plant, and I'm sure there is. It survived like hardly any water. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other plant. I'm just going to put it in a bowl with some water, and then we're going to give it a couple days and see if we can get rid of the rest of these gnats. And I really haven't seen as many flying around as I did before, but I don't want to give them a brand new pot to fill up with gnats. So we've got this. I'm going to put this plant back in the same place it was, so it's still getting the sun and stuff. And hopefully these roots will stay down in the water. It's like they want to float. So I might have to put something on top, but we've got another bowl. And I don't want the plant itself too much in the water. So I'll make it work. I'll set it up there, make it work. And then today I've got some daily games to film. I didn't worry about those when Julia was having my granddaughter, and I've kind of gotten off track of filming those on a daily budget or on a daily basis, and I need to go ahead and get started on those. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on some of those. So if you guys like watching those are coming back. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a little bit. We are shopping at not my favorite store, but at Mr. Snow Gardener's store today. We are out of town. We came and saw our granddaughter and Julia and Dylan, and we had lunch and did that. And now we're gonna go do some grocery shopping. And Mr. Snow Gardener wanted to come into Harbor Freight and just to browse, just to look. And of course, I can't say no because he goes in with me to all kinds of stores just to browse and look. So here I am just browsing and looking at Harbor Freight. And we're going to go ahead and head to go grocery shopping. And nothing else too much today that I can share. So this is and then we'll hodgepodge a vlog today. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I will be planning on doing vlogs every, I would say, 3 days or so. I think that works good. Again, if you guys are interested in seeing something in particular on my vlogs, whether it's related to, you know, day in the life videos, to chit-chatty videos, to a little bit of a hodgepodge of my other two channels, the cooking and the budgeting type stuff, just let me know.